One of the specific challenges OpenID community has been working to address the last few years is to find a user interface for the login and sign up flow that avoids being confusing to existing or new users, but can help a website who already has lots of users logging with passwords to move to OpenID over time. So in this website, we've actually deployed a modified password that in general, existing users come to the site don't even notice. They see the email button, email box, password box, their eyes gravitate to that, password fill, might automatically fill it out, and they just, log in. For example, log in here with an existing account on the site. Get signed in, nothing changed, right? So one of the things that we've done here, though, is we've made two changes. The first is if a user comes to the site and doesn't yet have an account and goes down to the Create Account Now button, usually they'd be asked to fill out one of these big forms where they're asked to enter their email, password, re-enter password, and they're also usually sent a message to that email address to verify what it is. But instead now we have buttons to use OpenID to get the user to create an account on this site. And in some of the other videos we'll show how that works. Now the second thing that we changed in the login box is we added this second tab up here labeled Connect with Any Account. And if a user goes over to that, they actually see almost the same UI as when they clicked Create an Account Now. And again, a list of buttons. Now this page can actually either be used to create a new account or to log into an existing account using one of these buttons. Over time, the hope is that most websites can move to the point where this tab is actually the default that they show on their login box. And if a user is, OpenID enabled, then they just come here and click a button. And once the website supports OpenID for, say, Google users, Yahoo users, AOL users, Hotmail users, in many cases that's more than 70% of the users. And the rest of the users, like maybe that Comcast user, if he needs to log in, well, he'll type his email address and he will get bounced back here and be asked to type his password. What we've found, though, is that if a website has a lot of users who used to log in with a password, you can't just one day change it to show something like this. You're going to confuse a lot of your existing users. So instead, you start with a login box like this, and over time, more and more users will upgrade to OpenID. And once they'll start using this tab. In fact, on any given computer, once they've logged in with OpenID, even if they sign out and come back, we'll remember that that's the tab that they want to use. And eventually the website should get to a point where about 70% of its users who have logged in the last week logged in using OpenID. And at that point they can switch and make this tab the default and either hide this other tab or just keep it available there if you want it. So that's certainly the goal to get to. Now to help us validate this user experience, we tested not only against this e-commerce site, but we also created a prototype of one of Google's services, the Vacasa Web Album service, that used the exact same login flow, the sign in, the create an account now, as well as the option to connect with any account. And we went through testing with even our own users to make sure that they could understand this flow, that existing users wouldn't be confused by it, that new users could get exposed to it, and we've found it works quite well. We still see opportunities to improve upon it a little bit further by, for example, remembering some of the last specific accounts that a user had used to log into a website and potentially listing them here. But we wanted to make sure it worked in the hardest case where that information about past logins wasn't available. For example, a user who buys a new computer or visits a new computer. And all in all, we've been quite happy with it. And in fact, if you want to, you can experiment with this website up here, federatedux.appspot.com, where, for example, a user who comes to this site, they may have actually noticed this second tab and learned about it on other websites. And so if they came here, they might say, oh, well, I have a Yahoo account and I want to sign up on the site, but great, they've got this button, so that means it'll be easier for me to sign in. They go and click it. They're Yahoo users, so they click Yahoo Mail, and they go and agree through the OpenID flow. When they get back to Google, boom, Google already knows their email address, it's verified, knows their name, and they potentially have to answer CAPTCHA. Hopefully you can get rid of that. And if I can answer the CAPTCHA correctly, actually go ahead and create my account. And the process for the user is as easy as that. And if they ever need to sign in the future, just click that tab, Yahoo button, and boom, they're in. By the way, if you do decide to play with the site and you need to delete one of the accounts you've created, just go ahead and click this Easter egg link up here, and you'll be given the option to delete your account. So we hope that this user experience research on the sign up and login box here will be helpful to users. We refer to this as the 2-tab login box, and we'll continue to report on our ongoing research in this area in the future.